Hey, Aisha. Yep, it's Aisha. As many of you may not already know, I am deaf. I'm completely deaf. I was not born deaf. I lost my hearing when I was 13 years old. I am now 30 years old and I have been deaf for 17 good years. Okay, so story time for you. I'm going to try and keep it short, but it's not so simple. When I was 13, it was summertime and my parents weren't around. I was having a very nice time with the family and my eyes started to really affect me. My eyes got affected. They were infected, I don't know, but they got so red and I ended up with so many blood clots in my eyes and my vision started to become blurry. So we got very worried at home. We did inform my parents because they were not around. My eldest brother ended up taking me into Whipps Cross Hospital here in East London and I went through some tests. Luckily, they were able to prescribe some sort of antibiotics, eye drops for me, and that kind of slowly helped resolve things. The moment when I realized that things were like serious was when my eyes actually became so blurry and we decided that this is serious and we went in and we kind of got that fixed. So about 2 weeks after that, after having my eyes cleared from whatever it was that I was going through, which there was no diagnosis, okay? They didn't know what was going on, but luckily the eye drops helped. The doctors were able to help me with some eye drops. About 2 to 3 weeks after, it must have been, so I wake up to pray in the morning. My auntie came and woke me up and told me that it's time to pray. It was Fajr time. And I went to the toilet. I sat on the toilet seat. And as I was sitting there, I do not know why I did not turn the lights on because I'm such a scaredy cat. I can't even sleep in a house by myself, let alone sleep in my own room by myself. So I decided to use the toilet and as I was sitting there, I heard a sound. I heard a voice. It was a man's voice, but it sounded very quiet at first and it said this word and that word was akantam. And it started off very quiet and I thought it might have just been my very sharp hearing at that time. But it got louder. It was a kantam and then it was a kantam. In a very angry voice, okay? And I jumped. I actually just jumped off the toilet seat. I was so scared. And I barged out of the toilet and I started screaming. Like, I was just like, did you guys not hear that? Someone said something in the toilet and everyone was like, no, we didn't hear anything. You're just hearing things. But I know for a fact I was not hearing anything. It's not my ears. Something actually spoke to me. And because it was time to pray, I still had to go back to the toilet. So I put the light on this time. I went back in and I did my wudu. And I went and prayed. After praying, I went back into my room, jumped on my bed, slept, and I woke up the next day and I couldn't hear a thing. I woke up with no hearing at all. No explanation behind it, really. So you find yourself waking up and you're so used to hearing things like, I wouldn't even know how to describe it anymore because I don't know how things sound when you wake up in the morning. But I know that once upon a time, I used to hear things when I wake up in the morning. I could hear things, the small sounds like the birds, cars outside, small things like that. I know that at that point, it was very alien for me to no longer hear those things in the morning. I remember just jumping out of my bed and I was looking for my family and I told them that I couldn't hear anything and they thought I was joking. First few minutes, I felt like I was going to lose it because I honestly could hardly hear anything. I just couldn't hear. And at first, they laughed about it, but then they realised I wasn't joking. We did think that it might have been like a little infection, so we didn't take it seriously. And we decided to wait for my mum to come back. Well, my parents came back, my mum, dad. My second eldest brother was with him too, and when he got back, he was shocked by the fact that we were doing nothing about it. He was like, "This is serious. Aisha needs to go into hospital, ma. This is not a joke. You need to take her in." That's when I deeped it. It's been days and I still can't hear. And I've been chilling at home like, it's cash. It's calm. Little did I know that that was it for me. No more singing like Mariah Carey. We went to the GP and the GP decided to refer me to a hospital called Great Ormond Street. Very nice children's hospital. I was a child at that time, of course, young teen. So we went there and I had so many tests run. The doctors, I felt like a total experiment. I remember one of them was water pressure against my ears. That was really painful. I stayed in hospital for like a good 2 to 3 months. I was actually living in Great Ormond Hospital. And at first they decided to give me hearing aids and realised that those hearing aids don't help. So with the hearing aids, they gave me steroids to enhance my hearing. And I gained so much weight and I used to eat a lot. Okay, I gained so much weight and it looked unnatural. My muscles got weak, my legs, my bones, because of the steroids. But they kept giving them to me. They can't just give me steroids to enhance my hearing for life. It's unhealthy. It's not normal. The hearing aids don't work. So they decided that, you know what? They realized that there's no way I could get my hearing back, because after running so many tests, my eardrums aren't the problem. My middle ear is not the problem. The problem is internally, okay? It's an internal issue and it's all got to do with my cochlea. So the inner ear, my inner ear is damaged. We have a cochlea whereby there's hairs that stand up like this. Now, all of a sudden, mine just decided to drop. So sound could no longer be transmitted directly into my brain. My ears were completely dead, and you cannot actually fix an internal issue like that. The only solution to my problem was a cochlear implant, which is this device over here. This is my life, and I love my cochlear implant. I'm so used to it, and I'm so grateful. Wallahi, God doesn't take anything from you without reason and without replacing it for something great. That's what I believe. And I've achieved so much, even if it's not financially or career-wise or whatever it is that you may call it, but being happy is a huge achievement for me, and I am happy with the person that I am today, and I'm proud of being a completely deaf person. I'm grateful that I can still speak, and I'm grateful that I can see. The worst case scenario, I would have been deaf and blind, but alhamdulillah, that's not the case for me. So I'm very, very, very much grateful. Let me repeat, I am deaf, completely deaf with a cochlear implant. Without this, I hear nothing. So yes, I am completely deaf. Thank you for watching my story time.